Hey bitches, so you see all these fancy thumbnails all over YouTube and you wonder to yourself, how can I create something similar to that? Well, today I'm going to show you how. Well guys, here I'm going to teach you how to make a thumbnail similar to this one. I've just picked a Elden Ring sort of gameplay thumbnail that I think looks attractive and will be click-worthy on YouTube. I'm going to tell you some hints and tips while we create this in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, that is okay. We can use a program called Photopea. I don't know why they called it that. That's really a shitty name for it, but there is Photopea on just on Google that we can use, and is very, very similar to Photoshop. Just the HUD looks a bit different, just slightly different. It can do everything that Photoshop can do. So if you don't have Photoshop, you can use Photopea. So I'll be recreating this thumbnail in Photoshop. So if you guys want to follow along with me, I can also make this quickly in Photopea, just for you guys to follow along if you have no idea what all this shit means. Alright, so first of all, file, new. So we just want to create a 1080p file for Photoshop. So 1920 by 1080. Just keep it as resolution, RGB. I like to keep the artboards unclicked, so yep, that looks really good. So I'm making a new one here, and we just want to bring in our background image. So when looking for a background image, we want something that is eye-catching already. So when you're looking on Google Images, just pick something that catches your eye and just make a thumbnail from that. So I was quite attracted to this image for Elden Ring, so I picked this one, and we are just going to, so we can either just drag this into the untitled, so I'm just going to drag it in there. So you can also just drag it from your folder here straight in, and it does the same thing, so which is great. So when you do drag it in, it will be an actual file. You have to right click it and rasterize layer, but if you did it the way I did, you won't have that problem. So go up here, and we want to do a free transform. So in Photoshop, we don't have to hold down shift in this version for it to scale. In Photopea, you will have to hold down shift so it scales nicely. So we just want to scale it up just a touch, and we want to keep the character about like halfway, 3/4 in the image, so we have enough space on the left side to put the text. So I think here it looks quite good, and we just want to press enter. So next we want to get the text, so we just want to go to the text tool here, click on there, and write new Elden Ring gameplay. So now we've got that in, so we just want to double click this text here, and we can go to our character. If you do not have character here, you can go up to window and get all the shit here, and we are going to do this here just to bring it all to all caps, and we're going to pick out our font. I like to use Open Sans, so I like to pick either bold or extra bold. You want it nice and crisp and clean and clear for your thumbnail. No fancy weird shit like that. Don't pick text like that. Just don't. because it's awful and it is hard to read at smaller text. Usually you want to just keep to normal sans serif type font. You don't want to go with some weird shit. You know, just be sensible about it. Don't be stupid. So yeah, so I like to go with open sans, and I go with extra bold. So we want to stylize this text now, just to make it neat and tidy. So I like to make it a lot larger. So we do that. So we want to also look at this navigator here to judge the size of the text and if it's readable at small sizes. So around there is pretty good. We want to just bring this down so it's not all bunched up, and we also want to look at the navigator so we can tell how we would like it. So now I like to have it all like an even sort of little boxy look to my text usually. So I just make words larger or smaller and just scale them up to match what we have. So I make new and I make it quite large. I just want to bring that up. So that's a bit close to that line, so I just highlight that and we just want to bring it down just a touch by itself. So that's looking pretty good. We also want to make sure that it's all aligned to the right, and it is, so that's perfect. And now you can see that it's too big, so I just scale it all down to make it easier for ourselves. We want to go to free transform here, and we just want to scale it down until it looks right. So about here, and also just to make it even more interesting, I'm just gonna rotate the text a bit. You can rotate it any way you like. I forget which way I had it in my guide. I forget which way I had it in my thing. So that way, perfect. So we can do that. Forget. I'm such an idiot. Alright. Rotate. It's looking good. And we just want to place it near the middle, you know, just in the middle, and we just press enter. That's looking good. So we also want to do a drop shadow. So we just want to double click down here, not on the name, otherwise you'll be renaming. And we want to go to drop shadow, and we want to click that. We want to go to there, and we want to change it to black. It should be on black for you guys, and we can change the angle. So we'll just have it that way. Yeah, that looks good. We can change the distance and everything, so we want it out fairly far, and I just keep the size down to 0 to make it nice and crisp. You can also change the opacity. I like to keep it around like 90ish for my personal taste, and we just want to click OK. So that's looking great. Now we want to bring in the orange or colored tone of the background that we have in this image here. To do that, we just want to make another layer. So go down to here and click that icon. That'll bring up a new layer. Now we want to pick out our color, so just go here, and I wanted to do an orangey red type of color for Elden Ring, and in general Souls games look good with orangey red sort of colors with them. So we'll pick that one out, and we just want to go to the bucket fill tool here and hold down the button to be able to click the gradient tool. So here I already have it on orange to transparent. You might be on foreground to background. We just want to do just the orange, so I like to click that one, and you can pick the different shading styles. Here I just want to go simple horizontal, and 100% opacity. It's all good. So we just want to click here and then hold down shift and then just drag across, and we just want to stop just past the main character's head here. So yep, that looks good. It's a good blend there. And we also want to stylize the color overlay. So we just want to go to here. So we can play around with all the styling that we can have for this. It's quite fun going through all these. I even like the blue there. That looks quite stunning. I do like it. But I did like hard light. That really just makes it pop. So I'm gonna go with that one. And I'm gonna move the text a little bit. I don't know, it just feels, just need to move up just a touch, you know? That looks good. Alright, so we want to, for the next step, cut out this main character so it is more prominent against the background. Just bring into that middle ground. So first things first, we want to go to this tool over here. A lot of people also use the pen tool here to mask, but it's just a rough outline that we're doing. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to be viewing it up like this. It's a thumbnail. It doesn't have to be perfect. So to make the outline, we can either turn off the top two layers so we can see this layer a lot better, and then we can just zoom in, and we just want to do a rough cut around, so I'll do that quickly here. There you go. So once we have this selected, we just want to hit Control J. Make sure that you are on the background layer first before you do this. So Control J. So that'll just duplicate the selected area. So now we have this separate from our background. And we can now turn on the other layers, and we can bring the main character above the orange layer. So now it's above the layer and stands out just that little bit, which is nice. So next we want to make a drop shadow to just bring up that that white line that I have that just makes that distinction of the background. So to do that, we just want to double click and then go to drop shadow, and we want to change it to white. The thing is here, we don't want it at that same angle, but if we move it, the backdrop shadow for the text also moves with it, which is not what we want. So to fix this, we go cancel, because we don't want that, and we want to go to the text layer. So make sure your text is perfect the way you want it before you do this step, otherwise you're going to have to do it again. So right click, and we just want to go to rasterize layer style. So now that we have done that, that shadow won't move. So now we can go back to the character layer and double click and go to drop shadow. So now we can change that to white. and we can change the angle, which is fabulous without affecting anything else. So we'll just have it about there, and I just around 90 again. I don't want it like pure white, otherwise it'll stand out too much. And we can change the distance so it's not as bold. Another thing that you see in a lot of thumbnails on YouTube, people like to do the stroke. Like to do the strokers. And we can change that to white and make that thicker. So you can also do that. I didn't want to do that for this guy because you see it a lot, and I do it a lot. I do the strokers a lot, so we just want to go with drop shadow for this guide. So that's okay. We click OK, and it looks good. So next step, I actually want to adjust the colors for the main character. So what we want to do, make sure you have that layer selected, go to image, adjustments, and then levels. So we just want to bring in those darks and heighten those lights. We can also move the mid around and just move it around to where you would like it. Always make sure to look at this navigator image just so you can see what it's going to look like if it's smaller. Makes it easier to see if it will stand out. So I think that's good. We can see the preview here, how different it has changed it, and it looks great. So we just want to go OK. Now another thing with thumbnails, we want to make sure that the text is easily read. The background is conflicting in this area here. The way to fix that for me, what I do, is I usually go over to this tool over here. So we just want to go to the burn tool and just go to midtone. So we want to bring that exposure up to 50, and we just want to darken just the background here, just a smidge, so it's not as conflicting with the font, the text. So we just want to bring that down. Want to go to highlights. Also, to just darken it a little bit, we can put the exposure down. Just play with it, play around with it until you have something that looks good and is readable. So you can see here that it's getting a lot more readable at a smaller scale. So that's really good. We just want to bring it down. Some midtones in. Bring that, dark that up. That up. Okay. You just want to paint it in and make it look good. Try and match it with the rest of the image. We just want to, yeah, boy. Right there. See, so that is looking good, and that matches the rest of the image. So I think it looks quite good. Alright, so I think I might just move the text up a little bit. I don't know. Whenever you have like a drop shadow, it always makes it heavier towards the bottom, and you feel like you need to lift it up a little. So there you go, guys. So that's basically how I create my thumbnails for YouTube. Another thing I also do is add my branding on top of this. So I do have my version of my brand, so that's what I would add. I add just a little bit logo, and I have the white outline border there, so I always have that, and you can play around with it. So if you have any branding that you might want to put on, you can do the same too, which is quite simple and easy to do, and it is effective, and people will instantly recognize, hey, that's a Girlvsgame video. It has the branding. You'll see my logo and you're like, oh yeah, better watch that. So yeah, so there you go, guys. So I will quickly recreate this in Photopea just for you guys, so you can follow along really quickly. So it's quite easy. Oh, hold down shift to resize it. Move that over. Next. So to move around the area, you can just hold down space and you can just do that, and it'll be a lot easier to be able to cut this guy out. So there you go guys, that's how you can quickly recreate this in Photopea. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this guide and found it useful. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe, and even think about hitting the notification bell to just stay up to date with these awesome videos that I'm doing at the moment. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!